Alright, so those are the beat and touch effects. Now there are also text effects. So right now I have 6 banks here. There are 10 spots per bank, so I can scroll through them. Let's see, we want to select, let's say we want to select Pioneer Pro DJ. Now that comes up on the screen like that. It can rotate. This is called zoom, and then here's the crush effect. Now, I can edit everything that's in here. So if I don't like that it says Pioneer Pro DJ, and I wanted to say, let's say, DVJ Vision, I can simply type that in. I think somebody assumed that DJs are not familiar with QWERTY keyboards, so that's why we ended up with this. And now it says DVJ Vision. I can change the color. Change the font. Give it a drop shadow. Change the size. Now everything you type in here you can store on your SD card, so if you perform at a club that has an SVM-1000 you don't need to type everything in, you can just bring in your SD card, pop it in here, and then read it straight into there. Actually, speaking of SD card, another thing you can do is bring your camera into the club, walk around the club a little bit before you go on, take some pictures, and bring them up on the screen. I just went up to the roof, took some pictures of the Empire State Building and so forth. Let's load them in. You press JPEG Viewer, press Select. Now it asks me, do I want to load it from my SD card or from my USB stick? I also have a USB stick right here. So let's select the SD card. Here are my images. Here's the first image. I load it in. It takes about 10 seconds or so to load it in. And then once you've loaded them in, you exit and you have 3 choices of how you want them displayed. There's the manual mode and the fader mode and the auto mode. Auto mode means it cycles through all the JPEGs that are in there in an interval that you can control. It can be a quarter second, half a second, or 1 second. Okay, now I exit. Let's say I want auto mode and I want it to be half a second. I take these 2, load them in, and now there are my images. I can cut it down to a quarter second, like that. If I prefer fader mode, fader mode means every time I bring the fader up, it brings up a different image. Let's say I want to load in something from my USB stick. I go to JPEG Select, USB. Right here I have my logo loaded in. Selected, put it on channel 1, and right here it shows me that it's going to be on channel 1. Now I have a crossfader over here, so if I want to crossfade between the video over here and the logo over here, this would be the fade effect. This is white. This is a simple switch. And then there are three effects that are very cool. This is Chroma B. Chroma G. And Luminance. So you can slowly like bleed your image in or your other video in. Let's say I want to do the same thing with two videos. Bring up my dance video over here and blend it in like that. Let's say I want to blend in the video but not the audio. I just turn my audio trim off and now I can bring this other video in like that. So there's an audio trim like you're all familiar with from audio mixers, but now there's also video trim. So video trim allows me to take the video out. So let's say I want the audio only over here, but not the video. I'll just take the video trim off. And now I got the audio only. Last thing I want to show you is the video EQ. If I take the bass out right now, I'm taking out the color. Now I can adjust that if I hold down this button. Right now it shows me that the high is assigned to contrast, the mid is assigned to hue, and the low is assigned to saturation. Let's say I want, whenever I take the highs out, I want it to take the reds out, so I press R. Whenever I take the mids out, I want it to take the greens out. And whenever I take the low out, I want it to take the blue out. So now I have it selected like that, RGB. I'll press this button again. And now you can see how the color changes when I use the audio EQ.